All right, hello, I am Mr. Sligh. I teach U.S. history here at AGHS, and this is my setup. I haven't had kids in my classroom yet, but I wanted to walk everybody through kind of my general layout for my classroom. For when I do have students in person, I'll be using my projector screen for when they're sitting at their desks so they'll be able to see the day's agenda. So up here I have my agenda, what we're going to be doing, my warm-up question, and then I'll also be able to play music in my classroom using some embedded YouTube clips. I'll probably be doing most of my home-based control either from my podium here in the front of the classroom. So I've got my Chromebook for attendance of my in-person learners. I could also have my Google Meet pulled up so that I can see who's there or if there's any questions, and it's right there in front of me. Or I could have it there for being able to have my lesson as well. So I have everything kind of centralized right here where I need it, when I need it. Conversely, I have opted to do a mission control kind of setup from my main desk, which is where I've been teaching from for all of this. On my two screens, which are on my computer, I have usually like my email, my attendance, and my Google Classrooms on one. And then on the other screen, I keep it open for my lessons that I'm running. So my agenda for the day, or in some cases, I'll use it to usually use this screen for my screencasting or presenting. So that's where I'll have the activities that I want to walk the kids through or explain, and that's usually what I use my second screen for. My projector, just to bounce back to that for a second, is actually utilizing a Chrome box. So it's on its own separate thing. It's not tied to my computer or my screens at all. But one thing that I have taken advantage of is I found a keyboard and mouse that I can actually sync or Bluetooth connect to multiple devices. So right now I have it set to my computer, but I can just press a button and change the device that it's connected to. So like right now I just switched over to, and my mouse can do the same thing, switched over, and now I can control the screen right from my desk on the projector. So there is technology out there. If you'd like to kind of have everything very centralized, you can do that. I also take advantage of, I brought in most of this equipment I brought in myself, but I also take advantage of having my audio and sound equipment for my in-person learners. So underneath my desk I have an audio receiver with my computer right there. And I use an audio splitter that's right here to where I can just switch back and forth between either running the audio from my computer or from my Chromebox. So it's a fairly simple setup when it's actually put into practice. It sounds a little bit complicated, but it's very easy to replicate if you're interested in getting a setup like this. When we were talking about some of the different ways that people could set up their classroom, there are usually three questions that I urge people to consider, and it's what I thought of when I was going through all this is how do I want to teach? In distance learning, it is so different from how I normally did things. I was very teacher-centered, but I wanted to have a lot of student engagement participation, and in this format, that's different. So the first question that I would say is, how do you want to teach? Do you want to be like a mission control kind of person like what I do, or do you want to be more like mobile in front of your classroom? That will dictate kind of how you do things in terms of how you want to teach with your students in hybrid. The second thing would be is where do you want to be? Some people really like to be standing. They want to be front and center with their students. You might want to have a podium or a separate desk to where you can kind of run things from. That's something I would also encourage you to consider. And then I know that there's always a question of what kind of tech do I need? I don't know because I haven't tried it, and that's very true. But my thing to consider, my thing that I would urge you to consider is what do you need to do to teach any of your materials? Do you need to have two screens? Do you need to have a projector or TV? Consider what you've done and then how you've already done it in the past. It is all trial and error, and there is a little bit of testing that's involved, so there's no right or wrong way to do it. You just have to find what's going to work for you, just like we've always done with any of our teaching. So I hope this video helps. If you have any questions, please reach out to us at the tech team. We'd be happy to help you guys. Thank you.